Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Tea Time with Taylor. For those of you who have never joined us before, this is a monthly webinar series that we do here at Performance Tracker X. My name is Taylor Clifford. I'm the program manager of client engagement for Performance Tracker X here at Johnson Consulting Group. Performance Tracker X is our CX reporting platform. So we pull in from your point of sale system all of your sales contract data as well as family contact information, and we send customer service surveys to your families that have been serviced by your funeral home teams. So that's just a very brief overview of what our platform is and who I am. Today's subject matter, we're going to be diving into some of what we've experienced so far in 2025. So, what are some response rates that are currently in the system for the year of 2025, now that we're approaching the end? Where are our current clients performing in terms of our excellence in customer service awards that we provide every year? We award several of our I say several, it's actually a very limited number in comparison to the amount of people that are on Performance Tracker X. But we award several locations of high performing teams with an Excellence in Customer Service Award. So we'll take a look at that. And that's going to include some benchmarks for the year to date. So what are some of our scores right now? Where do we expect them to go in 2026? More value in 2026. So for anyone who is either a current Performance Tracker X client or interested in joining Performance Tracker X, we're bringing even more value to you on our platform in 2026 with new feature releases. And there's also a couple of cost saving tips that I have for anyone who is currently maybe doing paper surveys still. Um, then we have our business consulting services. So it's a special offer for any attendee that is joining Performance Tracker X Tea Time every month. I want to be able to offer you guys a complimentary business consulting review. I say complimentary because it is complimentary for any of our current clients on Performance Tracker who are not working with the business consulting team. They will take a review of your data and analyze it for you for the entire year. So I'll dive a little bit deeper into that as well. Now, starting off with response rates, this is a slide that I actually shared at the beginning, or I'm sorry, in the middle of this year, in my June's halfway mid-year review. And I pulled it again today and updated some of these statistics because all of these numbers have gone up. So they've all increased since the middle of this year, which is actually pretty impressive because, as a full year's worth of data starts to come in, that can also mean more detractors or negative scores are also trickling in as well. But it seems like response rates are on the rise. We have a lot of people, a lot of families responding to surveys. And that's just a testament to the performance of everyone who is on our platform. That means that funeral directors are actively engaging with families, letting them know that the survey is going to be coming, collecting the email addresses and mobile numbers, and making sure that those get inputted into their point of sale system. So, whether it be Passari, SRS, any of the systems that we work with, you want to make sure that you're getting that contact information in there. If they weren't getting it in there, then there was no way that our scores would be this high right now. So for response rates for this year, the highest location in our system is at a whopping 72.7%. That just blows my mind. It's higher than it's been at the location level. Since I have come on to Performance Tracker X over the last 5 years at least. And I know it was even lower than that on average prior because we were only doing paper surveys. So about 5 years ago when we went digital, we saw response rates on the rise, and it's just gotten better every year. I will say the average overall response rate in the system right now is 39.1%. That's just below our goal for this year. So we wanted to be at 40% on average for this year. So I'm really going to keep bothering everybody. Everyone who's below 30% in the system, I do send out a system-wide notice to let them know where their response rate is at, give some tips on how to increase it, and I do that on a monthly basis for all of our current users. On the arranger level, so the individual funeral directors who are getting responses on surveys, the highest individual is currently receiving a 77.8%, and that's with over 25. I believe this individual actually had 65 responses for the entire year, and they're at 77.8. So that's just outstanding. Definitely someone that we will be interviewing and taking an interest in for our annual Trends and Insights report that we publish at the beginning of every year. So, um, 91% of companies on Performance Tracker have at least a 30% response rate so far in 2025. I do say so far because the year's not completely closed out yet. We do still have a lot of responses that trickle in January for December cases. So if you're going off of contract date, but most often we do report survey findings based on response date. So once December closes out, I will be able to provide final scores to all of our clients. But 91% is awesome. When I did this in June, it was at 87%, so it's gone up significantly. And I mean, again, that just means that even more of the companies that are currently using Performance Tracker are really paying attention to the response rates, which I'm going to take this moment to brag about, to give kudos to all of our current clients who are on the system. You guys are doing a great job. Now, for anyone who is on our system right now and is currently sending paper surveys still, I believe we only have a couple of clients who only send paper surveys, but we do have a significant handful who still send both digital and paper surveys out. Consider going completely digital. If you guys are looking in Performance Tracker and seeing that your email collection rates are, maybe like above that 90% threshold, I would like at least 90% on email and mobile collection before I'm going totally digital. If you're in that range, then talk to me about going totally digital, get rid of paper, and we'll keep a really close eye on your response rates to make sure they don't drop lower. But as you'll see on one of my other slides that I have regarding value, it does actually save locations money by going completely digital. You're paying $3 less per survey that's sent by eliminating paper. So just keep that in mind. Now, diving into the Excellence in Customer Service Awards, I'm so excited that we always get to start talking about this towards the end of each year and then in Q1 at the beginning of every year. This is a coveted award, honestly, that we provide to the top 15 performing locations in 3 call volume classification categories. So that's 45 awards total that gets sent out. And again, it is at the location level, not at the company level. So if you receive one of these awards, you really are one of the highest performing locations in the nation, as well as Canada, because we do both the US and Canada, and now Jamaica as well. So it's really a really nice morale booster for your teams if you're a location manager and want to keep these scores in front of your teams throughout the year. It's going to help them provide more service to your families, and it's going to encourage them that they're doing an even a better job at what they do. So these are the 3 different call volume categories that we have. We have below 150, 151 to 300, and then over 300 for the different sizing areas. Again, I shared this slide, well, the format of the slide, I should say, at our mid-year review, and all of the scores, I will say, have dropped in the performance categories. So the only one that was higher was this less than 150. The highest score is 977, and that went up from what we had prior. But we have had a lower score droppage, and that's in total value index. So our TVI is the primary score that we use to rate the Performance Tracker X awards. Now there are several other factors that come into play. You need a high enough response rate. You need a certain amount of at least 25 survey responses for the year to be eligible. And then we do take into account your overall performance score and net promoter score as well. But currently on the total value index scale, for each of the sizing categories, these are the highest and minimum qualifying scores. So if you take a look in your dashboard right now and see where you guys are at, essentially if you're in this 900 or 902 to 955 range, and you guys have an annual call volume that's greater than 300, then you're most likely going to be an award winner. And that's why I wanted to provide some of this benchmarking. This is at the industry level, so I know this profession can get pretty competitive. Even the locations that we work with here in Arizona are always like battling it out and trying to make sure they beat the other Arizona locations that are on the system. If you're curious what some of the scores are in your region, you can reach out to us and we can get you some region level benchmarking. But this is kind of like minimum and highest of where you guys should strive to be at. So in terms of goal setting for 2026, you would want to try and be above this 902, above the 920. Now, I will say historically, these scores are usually higher. I'm not really sure what caused the dip this year, but usually 940 is about the qualifying range for getting in on the awards. So just paying close attention to your total value index throughout the year, remembering that it is a compiled score of several different factors on the survey. So it's really the overall service experience that matters the most, not just one factor, not just one score in the survey. And just keeping an eye on it throughout the year, discussing with our consultants how you can increase the overall perceived value of your location. That families sometimes go into a funeral experience not knowing exactly what to expect in regards to cost. Now, obviously, in an ideal customer service universe, it wouldn't matter how much someone was paying for something; they would still see the value in it, right? So, even if it was the most expensive cremation on the market, they would still see the value. However, if families are feeling like they're not being educated appropriately on the cost, especially if they don't have the time to shop around, if it was a very a sudden death and they needed to come in and just get things done, it is up to your funeral director team to make sure that they are communicating and educating families, and further displaying that value in the services that they provide. So going above and beyond for families. And I know that's something that funeral directors are very passionate about. And that's, going to be reflected in survey scores. So it comes directly from the families, and hearing the voice of the customer is something we really believe in a lot here at Performance Tracker X, since we're getting that feedback directly from families. Now, what to expect from Performance Tracker X in 2026? How are we providing more value to you guys as our clients, as the funeral home owners or location managers? What can you expect for this coming year? So we will be announcing our Excellence in Customer Service Awards for 2025 at the end of Q1 2026. It's always at the end of March that we share that. We want to give enough time to see if scores trickle in, and make sure that all surveys are sent out appropriately. Then going digital. So this is something I mentioned earlier on the response rate slide. But just if you guys are looking to save some money for the next year, and you want to cost cut a little bit, look into going completely digital. It is going to save you money in the long run. It's no skin off my back for Performance Tracker X. We do not make any extra revenue on paper surveys. The only cost difference is at cost value. It's what we are paying to get those sent out. So go completely digital, and it'll really save you guys. And you can work with me to make sure that it doesn't affect your response rates. So reach out to me if you're interested in doing that. Now some new features. Super excited about these. We have probably the first one that's actually going to be released is this social review email alert. So for those of you who are on Performance Tracker X right now, you guys are probably receiving email alerts for when a internal survey is sent, or I'm sorry, not sent, received. So when a score comes in and you get a survey response, you probably get an email on it. Well, now we have that alert system coming into play for Google reviews as well. So anytime a Google review gets published online, excuse me, online for one of your locations, receive that email as well. That way it will alert you that that you guys should take a look at that online review. That's super important to be paying attention to when those come in, because obviously that affects your online reputation. It's public. It's, it's constantly going to affect your search engine optimization, especially on the cremation side. We're seeing that more and more families are finding funeral homes and crematories from the internet and online reviews versus just, recommended by or previously served. Getting competitive. So, like I mentioned, the funeral care service industry profession is very competitive with one another. But this is kind of my way to get you and get your teams motivated within Performance Tracker X. So get your teams excited about this award. Maybe offer like an incentive plan, like a bonus, or a gift card program, maybe a party for your team if they receive an award. But being able to see those rankers all year round, not having to reach out to me directly to get your benchmarks for the awards specifically. Now, right now, that information is available to you, and I can get it for you anytime you need. But we're going to have some modules in the reporting dashboard that show you that in a live way. So that'll be really exciting. Finally, and I saved this one to the last because there's a little bit more to explain with it, but we are going to be releasing a video recording feature within the survey itself. And this is going to include transcripts as well as AI analytics on the reporting side. But on the survey taking side, families are going to be able to take a recording of themselves. If they're taking the survey on the phone, they can do it in their phone, or they can do it on their computer. And they can use that as their comments on the survey. So that's really exciting, especially in this day and age where we've got TikTok, we've got Reels on Instagram. There's voice memos going out via text message. It's a lot of people are getting to the point of laziness where they don't want to type anymore. But also, when you're providing feedback to an organization of any kind, a lot of times, the sentiment behind that is it comes through a lot better through a video versus just typing comments. So, I've got a little bit more insight on that for you guys to see. So, video feedback has immediate business impact. Just some statistics here around why video feedback can be a positive thing for your organization. Now, this is an example of a hotel for hospitality feedback, but you can imagine in death care, it's going to be even more impactful, especially with the emotion that's conveyed and the thankfulness that families have. Think back to the times before surveying families when you were just reliant on thank you notes from families. I mean, this is going to be just as meaningful as that. There are videos that you can play for your staff in staff meetings to show positive feedback. And it's definitely a great way to help motivate your team to keep doing what they're doing. And then I really liked this stat too. 59% of executives say they would rather watch a video than read text, which I thought was very interesting. Along with watching the videos, we do have text analytics that come with it. So AI, you guys are hearing that buzzword everywhere. We've got AI text analytics. So a transcript is derived from the video. Then our software actually analyzes that for you and shows you, hey, what are some negative parts? What are some positive parts? What's the overall percentage or score of happiness in the video? So it analyzes all of that for you. Now we don't know exactly what this will look like in Performance Tracker yet. We are working on developing the software on our end and really picking and choosing how we want it to look. So I don't have a release date for this feature yet. I wish I did, but it is a really exciting piece of technology, something that's going to further push along our survey and really set us apart from other survey companies. So I wanted to share it with you guys today. If you have any questions on this type of feedback, this new feature that's coming out, reach out to me and I'll try and give you as much information on it as I can. But like you can see down here, this is what some of the reporting would look like. So you would be able to see the actual video and then the analytics down here for the sentiment of the transcript and what positive and negative parts are available. Now, to kind of roll into the final part of today's presentation, I did offer this in my last tea time, and in my opinion, not enough people took advantage of it. So I am kind of carrying it over into this one. This goes along the lines of setting your goals. Now, of course, you can set your goals using the benchmark information that I went over in this presentation today. You can reach out to me for some even more specifics on benchmarking. Even just look in your dashboard, you can see the industry benchmark, which is just the average for the system. I always like to show the higher scores though, not just the average, because you don't want to just be average, right? You want to be better. So, but I highly recommend all of our current clients on Performance Tracker or anyone who's looking to come onto Performance Tracker. This is something that I will offer for you, even though we don't have historical data to go off of. Within the first 90 days of your onboarding, we can get a business consultant in and have them do some first quarter analysis with you and analyze how you're doing in the first quarter of being on with us. But reach out to me on this. We can go over your 2026 revenue budget, putting that into Performance Tracker so you can track it along the year, alongside what you guys are actually earning from contract value. So I know a lot of owners take advantage of that budget tool. Team incentives in place. So if you guys are interested in doing any kind of incentive compensation plan, that is a service that our business consulting team offers. It's not included in this analysis of your previous year's data, but we can talk to our business consulting team and they can, explore that project a little bit further with you if you'd like. But basically just making the most of the valuable data that's at your fingertips. I mean, if you guys have all of this data coming in, it's really good insight. But if you're not even taking the time to look at your dashboards, if you're not really analyzing the data that is coming through, then you're not getting the most out of this product. You're not getting the most out of the feedback that families are providing. So let us help you, help me help you, kind of a Jerry Maguire thing with that. But please reach out and let me know if there's anything we can do to help you get the most out of this product. And like I said, it's complimentary. I'm not here to sell you guys more stuff. I want to connect you to the right people on our Johnson Consulting team. So how can Johnson Consulting Group further help me? Now, these are just some other pieces, I will say services that our business consulting team offers. our leadership and management workshops. I believe we do one. I think it's every quarter. I might be wrong on that, but we have a spring session coming up, and I think the dates are going to be the first week of April. So if you're interested in coming here to Scottsdale for a 3-day on-site development shop, either you or if you're an owner and you have like a budding manager who could really use this guidance. Our consulting team goes in deep during these 3 days on leadership and management. Then we also have virtual CX workshops or on-site CX workshops. They can come out and help you guys with your overall customer experience plans. There is a business assessment and then incentive compensation plans. Like I mentioned, that would be a quarterly bonus plan for your teams. So if you guys are interested in any of those opportunities, just let me know. Now the webinar archive, this is just kind of a reminder, a housekeeping tip for any of our current Performance Tracker X clients. Just a friendly reminder that in the support area of your dashboard, this primary support tab at the top, you can select the resources sub tab and be brought to all of these. These links are in here. You'll receive this presentation after we conclude today. So the links are live here, but they are in your dashboard as well. So if you're ever interested in viewing past Tea Time webinars, I've gone over a lot of information over the last 2 years now that we've been doing this series. So highly recommend taking a look at those, especially the ones where either Vince or Nelson or Jake joined me. Those gave some really good and valuable consulting insight, not just me blabbing the whole time like I'm doing right now. Now, again, for our current users, support team is here to help. It's going to be managed by myself. You could be hearing from a number of people on our team. We just want to make sure that we get you what you need. So if you have any technical support issues, or if you're interested in, maybe anything I mentioned here today, any training requests, anything like that, reach out to us and we'll get back to you. You can submit this ticket through your dashboard, or you can just email support@j3techsolutions.com, and our team receives that inbox and we will help you out. Our goal is to help you within 24 hours. So I know with the holidays coming up, there's going to be some office closures. I actually should have written that in here a little bit. So I'm just going to verbally say it. We are closed on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and the day following Christmas Day for Johnson Consulting Group. So it's going to be the 24th through the 26th. And then we are also closed on January 1st and January 2nd. That's a Thursday, Friday as well. So just keep that in mind. But we are here to help you, and we will get back to you as soon as business hours resume. If there's an emergency, there is always someone keeping an eye on that box. So we will reach out to you if there's, for some reason the entire system breaks, which knock on wood, but that's never happened before. So I don't anticipate it happening now. Well, that is all I've got for you guys today. We actually concluded on time, which is awesome. Let me see if anyone's got any questions. We've got an AI bot that joined. That's totally fine. If anyone has any questions, feel free to hang in here. You can type your question in the chat box or in the Q&A section of this webinar, and I will get back to you, or you can just reach out and email me. And then if you guys have any requests or suggestions for future tea times, I'm here to provide you guys with the information you want to hear. So reach out to me and let me know what you want these sessions to be about, and I will tailor it to no pun intended. I will tailor it to what you need. But I hope everyone has a wonderful Christmas, a happy Hanukkah for anyone who is currently celebrating Hanukkah, and a really happy new year. I'll see you guys in January for our next tea time. Thank you so much.